You think you're clever, don't you? The cafe froze. Cups halted midair, spoons clinked to a stop, and every conversation drowned beneath the sharp edge of her accusation. At the corner table, Claire Morton stood over a black man with a leather-bound notebook. Her voice rang louder than she intended, but she couldn't stop herself. "I've seen you here for weeks," she pressed, her nerves twisting into force. "Always scribbling, always watching. You're not fooling anyone. You're just another journalist, and a thief, stealing my story." The man didn't flinch. He set his pen down carefully, folded his hands, and leaned forward. His voice came low, almost casual, but it cracked the air like thunder. "You just blew 3 months of federal surveillance." Gasps erupted. Someone dropped a cup. The hum of espresso machines suddenly sounded like a siren. Claire's throat dried as the man revealed a badge from inside his jacket, the gold glinting in the fluorescent light. FBI, Marcus Reed. Claire's face drained. Her lips parted, but no words came. For a woman who made her living from words, the silence cut deep. Marcus exhaled through his nose. Not anger exactly, but the kind of restrained frustration that felt worse. He slipped the badge back inside as if she wasn't worth the flash. Gathering his notebook, he rose. "Stand up," he said. Claire staggered back. I didn't mean move." His gaze shifted past her. She followed it, to a man in a gray hoodie standing abruptly near the window, too stiff, too quick, his untouched coffee left steaming on the table. The suspect. Marcus moved like a switchblade snapping open, tall and sharp, his coat flaring aside to reveal the outline of a holster. The suspect darted for the door. "Stop! FBI!" Marcus's voice thundered across the cafe. The hoodie shoved past a barista, overturning scalding drinks. Marcus lunged, fingertips brushing cloth before the man bolted outside into the night. The cafe exploded in chaos. People ducked, shouted, recorded on phones. Claire pressed against the counter, notebook clutched like a shield. Through the glass, she saw Marcus give chase, muscles coiled with relentless pursuit. For one reckless second, she thought of her editor's voice. "If you want to get paid, Claire, bring me something hot. Blood. Scandal. Not fluff. This should have been gold." But instead of chasing headlines, she had wrecked an investigation. Moments later, Marcus returned, chest heaving, face cut from stone. The suspect had vanished. His eyes locked on hers. "I swear I didn't know," Claire stammered. Marcus leaned, close, voice low but lethal. "You cost me a suspect. You cost me time I'll never get back. Do you have any idea what's at stake here?" She couldn't answer. He snatched up his notebook and turned to leave. But at the door, he stopped. Without looking back, he said, "You want a story? Follow me. But understand this." He glanced over his shoulder, eyes like tempered steel. "You're not the one writing it anymore." Then Marcus Reed walked into the night, leaving Claire shaking in the ruins of her own ambition. Claire trailed Marcus through neon-slick streets, her heels clicking against cracked pavement. The city at night was a strange beast, buzzing signs, oily exhaust, fried food drifting through alleys. Marcus walked fast, his coat pulled tight. A man carved from purpose. "Listen," she tried. "I didn't know who you were. I thought—" "You thought wrong," Marcus cut in, not slowing. "Now one of the most dangerous informants in this city knows we were watching him." Her heart jolted. "Dangerous? He just looked like—" "Everyone looks like nothing," Marcus snapped, "until the day they destroy everything." His words sank like stones. She clenched her notebook tighter. She hadn't meant to ruin anything. She just wanted a lead, something to salvage her dying career. Rent overdue, editor hounding her, her name shrinking from the front page to the margins. But Marcus's voice carried a different weight. "This wasn't about a paycheck. You can't just expect me to walk away," she said, forcing courage. "You owe me." Marcus stopped so suddenly she nearly slammed into him. He turned, his shadow towering. "I don't owe you anything." His voice was cold steel. "You owe me. A man escaped tonight because you couldn't keep your ego in check. You want to make it right? Fine. Help me clean your mess." Her breath faltered. "Help? How?" He scanned the empty street, his hand brushing his holster unconsciously. "You wanted a story? You'll get one. You'll bait him." Her stomach dropped. "Bait? You're insane. Gray Hoodie knows your face now. He saw you challenge me. To him, you look like a nosy reporter sniffing too close. He'll come for you." Claire's veins iced over. "He could kill me." "He won't," Marcus said. "Not at first. He'll test you, and I'll be there." It sounded less like protection and more like a death sentence. She wanted to scream that she wasn't built for this. She was just tired. Tired of scraping pennies, of chasing stories that didn't matter, of being forgotten. Finally, she croaked, "If I do this, I get the story?" Marcus's silence was heavy. Then, slowly, "You'll get the truth. That's more than a story." And in that moment, Claire realized her life had split. The safe road was gone. All that remained was the one beside Marcus Reed. Dangerous, alive, and irreversible. 2 nights later, the trap was set in another cafe. This one dim, quieter, every creak carrying weight. Claire sat at the window with her notebook open, a decoy made of trembling hands. She told herself to breathe. Control is survival. Marcus's mantra. The door opened. Gray Hoodie. He slid into the chair opposite, eyes dark with suspicion. "You asking too many questions," he muttered. "People notice." Claire's chest pounded. She forced herself to meet his gaze. "Maybe I like answers." The man smirked, leaning close. "Answers cost. You got money?" Money. Always money. Her debts, his empire, Marcus's war. She steadied her pen. "What if I pay with information instead?" He frowned. "What information?" That was the signal. Marcus stepped from the shadows like a storm breaking. His badge flashed. His gun glinted. "Federal agent! Don't move!" The cafe erupted again. Gasps, shouts, chairs scraping back. The suspect jolted, but Marcus was faster, his presence filling the room like iron. Within seconds, cuffs clamped around the hoodie's wrists. He cursed, slammed against the table, powerless. Claire sat frozen, heart racing, the pen still pressed uselessly to paper. When the dust settled, Marcus looked at her. For the first time, his voice softened. "You did good." Her throat tightened. "I almost got you killed." He shook his head. "You almost got yourself killed, but you stayed steady. That's more than most can say." In the quiet that followed, Claire saw it. The weight in his eyes, the years of carrying other people's mistakes. And for a moment, he saw her too. Not just a reckless journalist, but someone who hadn't backed down. Later, as the suspect was dragged out, Claire finally wrote. Not scandal, not a cheap headline. She wrote a truth. Sometimes the story isn't yours to steal. Sometimes it's yours to survive. She looked up at Marcus. "What happens now?" He studied her for a long moment. "Now you decide whether you're chasing money or meaning." The cafe emptied until only they remained. Outside, the city roared. Inside, Claire Morton realized she had stumbled into the biggest story of her life, not because it would sell, but because it had already rewritten her. Injustice wears many masks: greed, suspicion, arrogance, desperation. Claire had entered the cafe chasing money. Marcus had entered it chasing justice. What collided was not just a sting, but a test of purpose. In the end, survival wasn't enough. Both learned the same truth. The stories worth telling aren't about profit or power, but about standing in fire and walking out changed. And in that quiet lesson, Under neon lights and spilled coffee, dignity was not lost. It was found.